Do you remember the last time that you read a book that you couldn't put down?
Yeah, last year it seemed like every single book I picked up I loved.
Have you been searching for that book ever since?
I just can't seem to find a book that I like.
Was there ever a time when, whenever you picked up a book, you seemed to love it?
Yes.
Has it been a while since you read the perfect book?
Yes. How did you know?
I have been searching for the perfect book. Hello, it's Ruby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to find your perfect book. Never look down on books and say that you're not going to read them just because they're YA or they're children's books, because there are so many great middle grade and YA books that are coming out at the moment that you just won't get a chance to read if not. I mean, for example, this is a YA book that I read recently and I really loved. Okay, this next tip is really, really important, and it's something that I didn't used to do, and as a consequence I seem to be reading loads of books that I just didn't really like. If you don't like a book, don't be afraid to put it down. Give yourself a chapter to sample. And I know that if you buy a book, you feel like you can't just put it down after the first chapter because it's a waste of money. What I like to do is, so Kindle has the option of sampling a book. So you can read the first, I think it's 5% completely for free. And obviously on Amazon you can do this too. You can like see inside the book. Before you buy a book, before you read a book, read the sample first and see if you like it, because if you don't like the writing style, you're not going to enjoy the book. I mean, maybe make an exception if it's a classic that lots of people have really enjoyed, but you're going to get an idea of whether or not you're going to enjoy the book simply by reading this sample. Be spontaneous! Now, I know they say never judge a book by its cover, but I think sometimes it's okay to do that. I do it a lot in bookshops. I mean, how beautiful is the cover of Lincoln in the Bardo? Sometimes the best books do genuinely have the best covers. Wander into a bookshop and pick up books because of their covers. Read the blurb, read the first page, the first 2 pages. I know metaphorically you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but literally I don't think it's that bad to judge a book by its cover. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and read a book that you're not really sure about. Sometimes you do have to give books a chance. Give a new genre a chance, something that you would never usually read, because sometimes these are the best surprises, sometimes the most interesting. I actually have a rule where I never read 2 books by the same author in a row. So even with series, I will always break it up with another author, and that's a habit that I've been following since I was in year 8, when my teacher told us, you know, you can't read like multiple books by the same author, because we had a reading challenge and she wanted us to read, you know, a few different books. But then like the aim was that we'd read 5 books a year. That year I read 100 books and I didn't read a single 2 books that were by the same author. And it's such a great habit that it's put me into. I will read the same author more than once, but I will break it up. And this way you get to experiment with multiple different genres and you get to try out new things and broaden your horizons, which ultimately is one of the main benefits of reading. Browse bookshops, go to libraries, go to charity shops. Just go anywhere that sells books and you find them. Sometimes the best books are the really obscure ones that you just find in a charity shop one day and it looks interesting, but no one seems to have read it that you've met. It's not a famous book like Gone Girl or Harry Potter. Like, look out for those books. You find these rare treasures of pieces of literature that you just don't find otherwise, so always keep an eye open. One of my favourite books that I read recently was actually called The Blood of the Lamb, and no one I'd spoken to had read it, but it was beautiful, this beautiful memoir-esque book, beautiful, infused with this melancholy humour and incredible agapeistic love for a child. It's the kind of book that I wouldn't have found otherwise, and so it's so important to kind of keep your mind open. Yeah, charity shops are the best place to go. See if some of your favourite films were based on books. I don't always check to see if there was a book when I watch a film, but if you really like a film, see if there is a book. So I actually watched Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close first, the film, and I watched The Children Act first, and then when I found that they were both books, I loved the books as well. And so just kind of think about your favourite films, search them up, see if they're originally books, and if they are, give them a shot, because you know that you like the plot already. And also you know it was good enough for it to be considered for film adaptation. I really recommend keeping track of the recommendations that people give to you because they give them for a reason, so trust their recommendations. I will leave this printable link down below in the description box if you're interested in downloading it and keeping track of recommendations. I honestly think it's such an important thing to keep track of. Another really easy way to keep track of recommendations and find new books to read is through Goodreads. They have Listopia, which basically you can find lists of books of certain genres, or let's say that you really enjoy like mystery YAs, then you'll find a list that somebody has made of loads of mystery YA books, and so it helps you to find the book which will suit you the most, and also your friends and the people you follow. You can see, for example, Lucy has reviewed A Company of Swans, and I've now just made it want to read. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it helps you to find your next perfect book, the book that is perfect for you and that you will really enjoy and that will change the way that you look at the world. Thank you again, and have a productive week.